So I just got back from Omaha, Nebraska. I had a wedding there yesterday, and I just thought I'd mention a few things that has happened there. Not on the wedding, but tech-wise stuff, that might happen to anyone else. So um, first off, this is the mic I use to put on the brides. This is the Deity W Live Pro. This is their first iteration of it. That's why it's beige. I don't think they make beige anymore. They only make black. So I would like it to make beige. I think the original plan was they're gonna make all the colors, and they took forever to make a black one. And now they don't have black. I would like white, so I could actually use that. But if you notice here, this is the sleeve that goes over the micro dot. And let me take this out here. This is the micro dot connection. So that broke, and that kind of sucks. So I might send this to Gotham Sound and have them re-terminate it to 3.5 mil because I just want like reliability and comfort, and it adds like adding an adapter adds additional length, you know. And if you look here, this is like just that length only. So if you had this with the micro dot, it's just longer, and I want less length. But I might buy a different mic. I might buy like a Countryman B3 white to replace it instead of using a Diddy Lav. I have another one, thank goodness, I can use, but I need to make this decision pretty quick. So, yeah. Another situation that happened on my gimbal. If you saw my last video, I mentioned it a little bit already, but I think so. First off, I'll just tell you what the setup is. This is my R5C. It's being powered through V mount here. This is a Tilta V mount pass through plate, and then V mount's also powering the monitor. So that's how it runs. But I've been noticing, I think this lever that tightens this to this bar here, it it doesn't get that tight. It slid on me the other day, or yesterday actually, and not while I was working. If it did, that would be terrible. But I think if it gets a lot of vibrations or whatever, movements, because it just sits in my car, then it can eventually get a little loose because vibration loosens things. Also, I've noticed that certain points where I tighten certain points, sometimes it takes more force to tighten it. Sometimes it takes less force to tighten it. So I don't know if that's an effect of anything. I have no idea. I've always questioned that, but I have no idea why that's the way it is. And that kind of sucks because if I'm using it one day and all of a sudden this falls, it's gonna like mess my gimbal up pretty bad. And this is one reason why I don't like gimbals, guys. RST Pro, by the way. But that's that. Hopefully nothing happens. I don't know if I can find a solution to make sure it gets tightened, because like you have to adjust it, every time you do it. Also, I do weddings, right? And because this doesn't have internal ND, it drives me crazy. Every time I put an ND filter on, I have to balance it. Every time I take it off, I have to balance it. And I hate that. So hopefully Canon or even Sony, you guys can find a way to put ND filters into mirrorless cameras. Hopefully. But let's go over here. I bought the Sony TX660. And this thing is small. This thing is small. Here's a AA battery for comparison. And I know it doesn't like look small on camera, but I'm telling you, this thing is like small. Once you get it, you're like, oh wow, this is really tiny, and I think it's pretty cool. This is just backup stuff, and I'm pretty sure like majority of wedding filmmakers they only use it for backup. I saw one video where this guy he has like three of them, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But as a sound engineer, like the quality of this isn't the greatest. I like the fact that it can record wave, but then it's still at 44 kilohertz sample rate. So the way it functions is it goes through the sleeve here, which I can't do it with one hand, and then it would slide in the mic here. This specific sleeve is from Amazon, so I'll just demonstrate as best I can. This sleeve is too big for non-wireless handheld mics, but majority of weddings will have wireless mics, and those are thicker in diameter, so this fits that perfectly. Here's another one I bought two just in case, because like everything seems different. This one's too big for anything, really. This one's too big. It will not fit a wireless handheld. That came in two, so I now have two useless items that I might send back. It's only like $7. But the idea was I was going to maybe utilize the same idea with a different audio setup. Like if I can create a Zoom F2 setup where really short mic, I don't know. That was the idea, but I was like, that's not pretty. So I understand why a lot of wedding videographers have decided to go with this technique, because it looks good on the mic, and everyone who grabs it, they don't realize that there's a recorder there. So those are the changes there. This specific wedding, I actually brought a light. I don't usually bring lights because I'm alone and I have a lot to set up already. But then I'd never use this anyways. The wedding was a little hectic on the time schedule for me specifically. Photographers tend to go really, like, they don't care about time, I've noticed. And I kind of hate that because they only take pictures, right? And us, we do video, so we need to take a little more time to do our stuff. So I didn't bring this into the reception, but thank goodness they had like a live band there, and the live band had some lights, so I was able to get some good stuff there, and this saved me time from hauling that. I stayed in the same hotel that the reception was in, so it wasn't a huge deal. If I couldn't do it, I don't know what I'm saying, whatever. But yeah. Another change I've done to my setup is I'm no longer using timecode for my weddings. I've realized that the wedding company I work for two, but there's one of them. The editors, I don't think they know what timecode is. And I try to create timecode to make a life easier on them, because like once I set up the mic for the bride, it's on for like a really, really long time, right? Basically all day. So I wanted to create a timecode system so they can, find it easier, but they don't do it. Sometimes they don't use my audio, and I'm like, what the heck? You guys stressed that I put a mic on the groom, and you guys don't use it? I don't know. So I've decided not to use it just because like that, and the setup is kind of minor. The longest thing about this is charging up the batteries, but then like the setup on set at the wedding, it might take like 3 minutes only, at the most. So it's not a huge deal. But then also I have to like kind of concern, like I do need to like it does have to be utilized if I do it. I'm sorry, I'm losing my words. I'm kind of tired. I have to like worry about it if I do it. So that is specifically why I bought the cameras I bought. So I bought the R5C because it has time code here, and then I bought the FX30 because it has time code as well. The only camera that doesn't have it is my EOS R, and I plug it into my headphone, and you hear the. So, I think every time the editors get it, they probably like, how come his camera sounds terrible? I don't know, but so with that consideration, I'm considering buying some new cameras specifically to replace this EOS R. It's a little old, and the I want to be able to get some lower light cameras. Like I'm considering the R7 because that's a pretty solid camera, right? But then I need to make sure if I can I want to test it with the FX30, see the difference, because they're around the same price, and if I can get one of them to work well, then that's good. And I don't know how much cleaner the FX30 is compared to R7. So my buddy owns one. We're gonna test it out, see how it goes. But I made a purchase that I think is like the most exciting one I've done. There's this cart here, and here's a tripod bag for scale. And you've probably seen this cart everywhere already, but this one is electric. So if I want to go forward, I press this lever here, this switch, and then I just press the switch, and then it goes forward. I'll go reverse, and that's pretty cool. So this can help lug some heavy stuff. I think 300 pound is capacity, so it's pretty cool. Only downside is it's not that big. It's not that long. It's kind of designed more for like, I think, smaller work stuff. Because, the bag, look at the bag, it doesn't fit already. If it can fit my tripods and all that stuff, then I don't need to worry too much. And then I can fit my gimbal in it somehow. But that's a pretty cool purchase. I like it. And I was talking to my buddy about utilizing it on set, and we're trying to like figure out things we could use it with. He's like, we could use it for sandbags. I'm like, oh, that would be great, sandbags. And we're thinking about like C-stands on top of here, but obviously it'll fall off. So I was like, maybe I'll 3D design something to like hang up like this so stands don't fall, So, yeah, that's like my least expensive purchase that I really enjoy, because I have this cart, which is less expensive, but like it's not that sturdy, And then obviously the camera cart, which is great, but then it's gigantic. So me and my addiction to carts, yeah. But that's basically it. I am pretty tired, so I'm probably gonna call it for this video here. There's not much content coming out from me, so I apologize about that, but I will try to create whatever I can that's as interesting as possible. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.